Hello, all of you people. I hope you're all doing so good today. We are going to be talking about my February TBR, which is wild because it feels like we just got into 2023 and I'm already filming this February TBR, but here we go. I will say, I am intentionally trying to do a smaller TBR this month because I'm not really sure if some of the books I'm reading at the end of the month I'll finish in time and if they'll carry over or not. So I want to give myself a little bit of a wiggle room in case I need to carry some of those over. So with that being said, I think I still have 8 books that I'm going to talk about. And yeah, like always, we will start with the ones that I'm most likely going to be reading, and then we'll get into the maybes. I will tell you when we switch. So let's get into it. The first one I will be reading is a Sherlock Holmes novel, and this is A Study in Scarlet. This is one of the novels. I'm reading these in publication order in 2023, so I'm very excited to get started on them in February. This is the first one that has been published. It was published, let's just check, why don't we? So this was published in 1887 originally, so I'm very excited to start. I was waiting until February because in January, you might know if you saw my TBR for then, and also spoiler for my wrap up, I was finishing up the Veronica Speedwell series, so I'm ready for the new one in March, and I just didn't want to pack too many mysteries all in one month, so I held off until February to read this one, but I'm very excited to get started. So this edition is published by Headline. All right, next up are 2 books that I'm going to be reading for a video that will be coming out in February. And this is going to be the start of a new series. So tell me if you can tell what the series is going to be, because these are the 2 books. So first up, we have The Wall. And this is by Marlon Haushofer, and this is translated by Shaun Whiteside, and I believe this is translated from the German. I'm pretty sure it's from the German, it doesn't say. This is published by New Directions. They did this new edition of it. So originally this was published, let's see. Originally, this was published in 1968, so this beautiful new edition I just had to get. I love it so much, and I don't really like the previous editions, so I'm very happy this new edition was done by New Directions. I think it's stunning. And this one follows a woman who, all of a sudden, a wall has separated her from the rest of society. She lives in the countryside, so she is now totally isolated. Nobody can see the wall, it's invisible, and all she has is, I believe, a cow and a dog that have been trapped behind the wall with her. So it's about her trying to survive. I've heard it's great. I can't wait to get to this, so I'm very excited. And then the next one for that video is, whoa, would you look at that? The Wall. And this is by John Lanchester. And this one, I believe, is like a dystopian. This one is published by whom? This one is published by Norton. This one, I think, is meant to be like a dystopian fable. And it follows something that has happened called the Change, which I don't know what that is. And it has caused this city that is in the middle of the sea, I think, to build a giant wall around it. Our main character of the story is tasked with protecting his section of the wall. Life or death, needs to protect his section of the wall so others can't come in. So I think this is, supposed to be a commentary on who we see as other, what it means to be in and out, and the asinine ways we separate ourselves from one another's in the effort to keep ourselves safe. So yeah, I'm very curious about this. I'm excited to finally get to it. It's been on my shelves for a few years at least. So yeah, that is The Wall. Next up in the ones that I probably like for sure will be getting to, this is the last one, is Severance. And this is by Ling Ma. This was all over the place a few years ago, and this is another dystopian. This one, the tagline says, "Is it the end of the world or just another day at the office?" And this is a dystopian novel that is very much also a workplace novel. So I think there has been some type of pandemic. So if you don't want to read about that, there you go. And this follows one woman who just is continually showing up to work. And I think it follows her before, during, and after, but the timeline is like all jumbled up in between. So I think it's like you're meant to be kind of put out of place. And it's meant to be like, yeah, all these commonplace things that are still happening during a global event. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this. I love this kind of sparse pink cover. I think it's gorgeous. And this is published by FSG. All right, we are officially getting into the maybes. The first one is a library book. And this one is A Story of Girlhood. Is that what it's called? I think this is called A Story of Girlhood, and it's by Carolyn Hayes. I'll put the picture up here. I don't know who the publisher is, but I'll put it down below when I'm editing this. And I know this is published under a pseudonym, but that doesn't really matter. So this is a letter that's being written from a mother to their transgender child. Yeah, it's a message about girlhood. I think it's going to be very heartwarming, potentially heartbreaking. I'm excited to get to it. I'm going to be listening to that one via audiobook. So I'm excited for that. Next one is Carnality by Lina Wolff. This is translated from the Swedish by Frank Perry, and it's published by Other Press. Look at that cover. I mean, that's so gorgeous. This is, who did this? Cover design is by Tyler Comrie. Listen, Tyler showed up to work one day and was like, "It's over for you hoes." And he was right. I mean, oh my God, stunning. I said that when I bought this, and I still feel this way now. This might be like my favorite cover in a very long time. So this one follows a Swedish writer who flees to Madrid, and she meets this man who's very like enigmatic, very charming, very extraordinary, and he has this story to tell. So he agrees to tell her the story, and she's a writer, so she wants a story, in exchange for her giving him a place to stay. So they enter into this agreement, and it unfolds from there. I'm very excited to get to this. I think it will be just like fascinating and fun. I think this says that some of the themes are around like spirituality and truth. So yeah, I'm down for that. And I think this is going to be pretty dark. So here we go. Carnality. I cannot wait. Next up is a short story collection, and that is Elemental. And this is from Two Lines Press. This is part of their Calico collection. And if you saw my December wrap up, you'll have seen that I read something else from the Calico collection in December, another short story collection. And this is just an anthology of short stories that are all about the elements in one way or another. And it's from a wide array of authors, wide array of translators from a bunch of different countries. Lots of things to dive into here. I just adored the one I previously read that was That We May Live, and it was a collection of speculative Chinese short stories. This one I think is going to be much more varied, and I'm excited for that as well. So yeah, very excited to dive into some more short stories. And I like that it has this environmental twist to theme them all together. I really enjoy a collection that is based around a theme. So I'm excited to get to this. These are just stunning additions. Each story starts with an image. So it has this really pretty page in the beginning. And then the actual title page includes the title, the author, the translator, but then it also has, like the others, a quote from the story down at the bottom. It also has a quote in the original language. over on the side, as well as the title in the original language over on the side. So I just love that they do that. I love the quote, so you get a little taste of what's to come, and I like that they put that information in the original language somewhere on the page for you to see. So I just adore these. This series, they ask translators what work they've been reading in the language that they translate from that hasn't been getting published and they think should be, and that's what they publish, which is brilliant. Like, more people should do that. So like, more please. I'm very excited to get to this. That is Elemental. All right, and last up for the TBR that I'm officially putting on here is a poetry collection, and that is Content Warning Everything by Akwaeke and Emezi. This is published by Copper Canyon Press, which is a poetry press that's from Washington, where I live. So I always like to support them if I can. And yeah, I think this is their debut collection and is pretty dark, hence the title. So I think that has a little bit to do with it. I think this also talks about, it says on the back, grief, wanting, and embodiment. So that sounds good to me. I'm very excited to get to this. This is also very slight. I think this is the smallest poetry collection I currently own. So we'll see. I hope it will pack a punch. So that is the last thing that I'm officially planning to read for February. Who knows what else will pop up in there, but please tell me what you're planning to read in the month of February, and if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!